As you know, I've been into music for over 50 years. Since I was a little child, my passion was listening to music, analyzing music, listening to words, to songs, the songs, and all the intangibles behind it. This video is in honor of some of the elites of country music. Not all of them. Remember, it's a long list, so I do bits and pieces of each one. These are some of the elites. I mean, you have good, you have great, you have not so good, you have mediocre, you have different types of artists and bands out there. But an elite is in a class all by themselves. Some were short-lived, but they still had that status for if they would have had a longer career, they might have went downhill. We don't know, but we have to judge by while they were still alive and still singing and performing. So these are some of the elites of country music. Remember, not all, just some. I mean, it's a long list, because I don't want people to say, oh, well, Bocephus was an elite. Well, no kidding, Bocephus was an elite. Like I said, this is a beginning. There's a lot of them out there. And the very first elite I'm going to give recognition to is Mrs. Loretta Lynn. This woman had talent beyond I can comprehend. I've listened to every song Loretta Lynn ever came out with, every album she ever made, and this woman knew country music. She knew the honky-tonk style of country music. She just was so consistent in banging out the tunes that just blew me away. Super long list of her songs, but check out Loretta Lynn, truly one of the elites of country music as a female. Another one is Mr. Conway Twitty. Conway Twitty had a style all his own. He was definitely a honky-tonker. He definitely wanted you to cry in your beer type artist. He had a voice that was recognizable. He had some great songs, some great country songs. He actually started out as like an Elvis type clone, more like, not rockabilly, but he was into rock in his early days, but he had a fantastic conversion to country music. Mr. Conway Twitty, a lot of beer drinking songs about wine, and up goes the bottle and down goes the man. He had a lot of wine bar drinking songs, which is the epitome of country music. Another elite of country music is Wanda Jackson. Wanda Jackson was another female, super good voice. She had a loud, her clarity was very unbelievable. She had a very loud, beautiful voice. She also started out in rockabilly during the days of like Elvis, and then she became even more successful doing country music. Of course, she pumped out a lot of songs. Was she better than Loretta Lynn? I don't think so, but still an elite. This ain't about who's number one. It's very hard to ever pinpoint who's number one. It all depends on your generation, who you grew up with. But Wanda Jackson is definitely an elite. Another elite of country music is Mr. Merle Haggard. Merle Haggard was a true American icon. He was like the John Wayne of country music. He spoke his mind. I believed his music was written mostly by himself. Not all. But when he wrote a song, he had a lot of compassion. He had a lot of heart and soul in his music. He wrote about the working man. Merle Haggard was a blue-collar singer. He cared about the American people. He cared about the working man. he lived his music when it came to drinking and going to prison, similar to someone else we know who we'll mention in another video of he's an elite too, and that is of course Johnny Cash, but we're not talking about him right now. This is Mr. Merle Haggard's time. Merle Haggard, truly an elite of country music, lived his music and cared for the working man and cared for America. So truly, Merle Haggard, we honor you as an elite of country music. Another elite who was considered outlaw music was Mr. Waylon Jennings. Had a style all his own. He braved the storms of the Grand Ole Opry and being ridiculed, and they tried to mold him into a more mellower type country star, but Waylon rebelled and did his own style of music, and God bless him because he went down his own road, chose his own path to stardom. Something about the Grand Ole Opry I'm not really super familiar with, but I think he refused to go to the Grand Ole Opry or something like that. I don't remember the whole story. This is just about his music. Another one who got into drugs and alcohol. Had a great wife in, I think her name was Rita, was it Jessie Coulter? I think her name was Jessie Coulter. Correct me if I'm wrong. But truly lived his music, had an outlaw style of music. He got into coke and drugs, but he lived his music. He wrote a lot of his own songs, and he had a rough lifestyle. That's why he was considered an outlaw. But truly, Waylon Jennings is another elite of country music. Another elite of country music was Mrs. Connie Smith. Connie Smith had a beautiful voice. She was from Mississippi. She's married to Marty Stewart, but she had a very, like Wanda Jackson, she had a very clear voice. It was beautiful. You could understand her voice. You could understand her words. She had a very a recognizable voice, a one-of-a-kind voice. I will be doing another video on the greatest voices of music, all musics, but I'm not going to give anything away. But Connie Smith had a lot of good songs. She went in her younger days, very good music, just a basic country style of music. Was she better than Loretta Lynn? Was she better than Wanda Jackson? I don't know. I don't think so. I still think out of all the females so far, Loretta Lynn is probably up there as one of the highest. Well, like I said, this isn't all. I've been going through Kitty Wells and some of the older stuff too, but there's still a long ways to go. But Connie Smith, truly a good example of a good wife with a loving husband, and they're still going today, so God bless them. But Connie Smith, truly an elite of country music. Another elite, now this woman gives Loretta Lynn a run for money, was Tammy Wynette. Now Tammy Wynette was a singer about family and divorce. Divorce was a big thing in how to treat a man, stand by your man, and just, she had a voice of her own. She had a style of her own. She truly was cry in your beer type music. She had different styles. I was listening to one of her songs called Baby Come Home. What a kick-ass country song. Nothing like, didn't need a lot of guitars and electric guitars and bang. Just a simple song, like 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. What an awesome song. But anyways, Tammy Wynette, truly an elite. She's right up there with Loretta Lynn as probably, as of right now, two of the greatest of all times, no doubt. I will eventually do videos on others. There's so many artists to listen to, but my hat's off to Tammy Wynette, truly one of the greatest of all times. Truly an elite. She had a style all her own. So my hat's with her life with George Jones, and their marriage didn't make it. But I believe Tammy Wynette lived her music and had a passion to write songs about her life and the life of others. So, and one more in this video, truly an elite. Unfortunately, she was very short-lived. But man, if there's a woman with one of the greatest voices of all times, and when I mean greatest voices of all times, I mean this woman could go low with her singing and still sound like beautiful chorus. She could go high, she could yodel, she could be she can go high and low, and it totally mesmerized me how good she could sing. Short-lived, unfortunately. Don't know where it would have taken her down the road if she was still alive, but we have to go by the music she came out with, her voice, and of course, we all know, if you know country music, this is Patsy Cline, one of the greatest voices ever. Never needed no fancy machines, never needed no crazy microphones. She had a voice that is truly, I would say, as far as my knowledge, which I'm pretty knowledgeable, I know some good voices when I hear them. I'm talking about country music here. I know there's great voices in rock too, like Nancy Wilson and Stevie Nicks. They have great voices. But when it comes to country music, Patsy Cline is one of the greatest voices of all times. Her music was just, I don't know, ballroom music, opera music, ballads. It wasn't like honky-tonk music, but it was something about her, just her own style. She came out with her own style, man. It was just beautiful music, but truly an elite. Was Patsy Cline better than Tammy Wynette and Loretta Lynn? She's up there with them. I can't say if she was better than them because she was short-lived, but what she came out with, I think she's close to Tammy Wynette and Loretta Lynn. But it's hard to beat Loretta Lynn because Tammy Wynette, but truly, Patsy Cline is one of the elites of country music. So, this video, there'll be more on the elites of whether it's rock or hip-hop or rap or disco or heavy metal or whatever. I will be doing some more videos, different styles of things. But these are the elites so far of country music. Check them out. They won't let you down, trust me. When you listen to music, be patient. If you got a long list of music to listen to, you tend to just listen to the first verse, first 30 seconds. I always go beyond the halfway point of a song because usually if something new is going to be added, it's done before that. If there's a verse, a chorus, a verse, a chorus, give it a chance to see how the chorus sounds. Some songs I've listened to a chorus and it's better than the verse, so it doesn't make it as special. But take your time, but check these out. Check these elites out. Whether you're into rock, rap, disco, check these out. Loretta Lynn, Conway Twitty, Wanda Jackson, Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, Connie Smith, Tammy Wynette, and Patsy Cline. Talk to you later. More music videos coming.